Hey guys, welcome to Vintage Genetics. I am Wesley and here it is all about creating a classic physique. Today we're doing a shoulder workout which many have requested, and since I was sore in pretty much every other body part, I decided to dedicate this workout to shoulders and some biceps. I like starting off with the body part I'd like to improve the most, which to me is the side delts. We start off doing side lateral raises with the dumbbell. To me, the most effective way to build your side delts up. And then we hit them in a different angle, classic style. This is an exercise Arnold used to do as well. And the incline bench basically ensures a constant tension on your side delts. It feels really different, even all the way at the bottom, which you normally don't experience during the standing version. And then another side delt exercise, the wide grip upright row. Now most people think this is for the front delts and the traps, but with a wide grip like this you're actually able to really nicely target the side delts. And do mind that I go up as high to where my wrists are about shoulder height. It's about the same height as a side raise, so that's the reason. And this is to really exhaust the side delts before we move on to the front delts. I like to pre-exhaust my front delts with an isolation exercise like this one, the front raises. I like the dumbbell version because it allows you to move your arm independently, and I like to move it inside a little. And I feel the squeeze that much better this way, so aim to have the dumbbell move towards the center position of your body, and to me I can really feel a much better squeeze this way. This also is a classic exercise done by a lot of bodybuilders over the years, and this to me is the best way to pump up your front delts. Now I personally stay away from presses, and I don't want to emphasize the front delts too much on shoulder day because I already train them a lot on chest day automatically. So I like to superset this exercise with another type of upright row. This time gripping the bar closer together, and it's hard to see, but I'm actually keeping the bar a couple of inches away from my body, which puts that much more stress on the front delts and prevents your traps from doing most of the work. Now the reason I don't like doing presses too much is personal to me, because my front delts tend to overpower my rear delts and create an imbalance, and imbalances cause injuries. But if your shoulders are just fine and you love presses, I would still focus first on the weak points of your shoulders. So if the front clearly overpowers your side and rear, save the presses for later on in a workout and you'll reap a lot more benefit from it. And now we move on to the rear delts. I like doing this cable. It puts constant stress on the rear delts, and the main difference between this one and the dumbbell reverse fly is that at the bottom of the movement the dumbbell doesn't put much stress on your rear delts at all. So you basically rest at the bottom, while at the cables there's a constant pulling of the cables on your muscles, which makes it a lot harder to do. And I like to use the lightest weight possible here and just pump out the reps. I don't like going under 12 reps. I actually prefer to stay at least at 15 or 20 reps, because a small muscle group like the rear delts really just needs a lot of blood flow, needs a pump, rather than a heavy weight. Basically, I'm using the same principle during this exercise. This is a face pull exercise on a machine, and I wanted to show you this full set so you can see that I really am doing quite a lot of reps. I did 5 full sets of this to make those rear delts burn, pump up, and just to exhaust them. And I've noticed a lot of gains this way. If you go too heavy, your traps or even your arms take over, and that takes away the whole idea behind this exercise. And you can see that I'm consciously contracting and squeezing the rear deltoid muscles in order to make them do most of the work. Also imagine not just pulling backwards but also pulling upwards a little, especially when it's not possible to literally pull to your face, and this makes it a bit easier to contract those rear delt muscles. And we finish off the shoulders with some heavy shrugs, and as you can see, I don't pull just upwards but also backwards. This works the thickness of the traps but also finishes off the rear delts even more. And what I find very important here is the stretch. Focus on this. Too many guys go straight back up again, but you want to really feel the weight hang. Get rid of the momentum and purely use your traps to pull the weight up. The shoulder day was actually on a day where we usually do back, so I decided to include biceps into this workout. They can never get too big, right? So I focused a lot on the peak during the following exercises. And the first exercise is one of my favorite, especially the squeeze on this one is really unique. I use a preacher bench, but I use it in the opposite way so I can really let the weight hang pretty much straight down. And to me the contraction is the most important for a bicep peak. And putting your hands close together on the bar puts more emphasis on the outer part of your bicep. And just imagine if the outside is bigger than the inside, it creates a peak, guys. Even though genes play a big role in this, don't give up and just maximize what you got by giving it your all during this exercise. You have no idea of your potential, just like I didn't, but it will show if you consistently put the work in. Trust me, guys. Anyway, next up is another preacher exercise, but this time with a dumbbell. Now you can really focus on the turning of the wrists, which allows you to contract the biceps even harder. And as your mind-muscle connection improves, you can feel minute details in your muscles. For example, I really can feel the outside contract more than the inside, even though my entire bicep is flexing, of course, but I can feel the stress on that part of the bicep just a bit more. Shifting the angle a bit, the position and the weight, and you can find out exactly what works best for you, as I did. So heavy weights don't work for me, light weights a lot of reps. Though it is a fact at the end of the day that when you turn your wrist like that and do it under that angle, you put a lot of stress on the bicep to create a better peak. So just give it a go. And now we have arrived at the final exercise, the concentration curl. I decided to change it up and do this one seated. It is a classic exercise and you do have to use a lighter weight compared to the standing version, but to me I can feel the contraction better, so switching it up is good for me. And always remind yourself that you have to stretch out the muscle as much as you contract it. The better the stretch, the stronger the contraction, as Arnold used to say. And that was the end of the workout, guys. The next video will probably be food related, but we will see. Anyway, there's so much more content coming to you for sure. And let's spread the golden era message. Let's bring back these classic physiques for which I'm trying my very best for. I'm about 70 days out from my show, the Dutch Nationals, and I intend to show a unique classic package this year. And anyway, guys, thanks a lot for watching and remember to stay golden.